Good day everyone, and we are the Group 8 and we will talk about the course books and CAL or tinatawag nating Computer Assisted Language Learning. So, ano nga ba ang course book? So, pag sinabi nating course books, ito ay yung mas kilala nating textbooks. So, ibig sabihin, ito daw yung mga pinagkukunan ng lesson ng mga teacher and also ito yung structure guides for instruction ng teachers. And ginagamit din siya for language teaching and other educational context. So, ang mga example nito is yung sa elementary, yung books ng English, Math, or Science. So, pagdating naman sa college, ang ating textbook, syempre nandyan yung teaching science in elementary grades, teaching English in elementary grades, and etc. Ang course books ay nakadesign for learner needs, teaching methodologies, and curriculum goals. So, learner needs is dapat mabigay natin yung needs ng student from the use of course books, and also nandyan yung strategies na gagamitin ng teacher and method para sa lesson. And yung curriculum goals, syempre, ang course books is naka-align sa curriculum. Ang traditional course books ay nakafocus lang sa content and sa grammar and vocabulary. But now, ang modern course books na daw is more on communicative and also nakaka-integrate din siya ng listening, speaking, reading, and writing, and support learner-centered approaches. So, mas maganda yung course book in a modern kasi merong freedom ang student na makapag-search from internet and also mas nag-explore ang bata. Unlike dati na more on sa teacher nanggagaling ang instruction, but now is more on student-centered. So, meron palang good characteristics ang isang course books. So, first is the cultural relevance. So, ibig sabihin, dapat daw ang course book is naka-align or naka-connect sa culture ng learners. Next is the visual appeal. So, ibig sabihin, ang course book daw is maganda ang design, maganda ang kulay, para mas nakakaagaw pansin para sa students. Next is the learner support. Ibig sabihin, dapat maiintindihan ng bata. Let's say, for example, sa isang content, dapat malinaw ang explanation, malinaw ang direction or instruction. The last is the assessment tools. Ibig sabihin, dapat ang isang course book is mayroong mga sinasagutan like yung exercises or yung post-test or pre-test. So, yun yung tinatawag na assessment tools. And then, merong principles for using course books. The first is the adaptability. So, as a teacher, we need to adapt the content from the course book para mas mabigay natin yung needs and interest ng bata. Let's say, for example, may isang lesson or content na mahirap intindihin para sa bata. So, as a teacher, mas padadaliin natin yung explanation, yung instruction para maintindihan pa rin ng bata. And the second is the supplementation. So when we say supplementation, hindi naman tayo pwedeng mag-focus lang sa isang course book or content ng isang book. Pwede tayong maghanap ng additional resources and activities na pwedeng ibigay sa bata. Like say for example, may isang activity sa course book na hindi kayang gawin ng bata. So, as a teacher, pwede tayo maghanap ng ibang activities na wala sa course book para mas engaging and interesting sa bata. The third is the learner-centeredness. So, mas importante na nagfo-focus tayo sa needs ng ating students. So, hindi ibig sabihin na yung course book na yon is i-explain natin or ile-lesson natin page by page. And the fourth is the contextualization. So, we need to modify the examples, topics, and tasks para mas appropriate ba sa bata. Let's say for example sa isang course book, gaya nga ng sinabi ko kanina, kapag hindi kaya ng bata ang task or mga activities, pwede tayong magbigay ng mas madali para sa bata. And also, we need to modify yung example. Kung yung example ng isang course book is mahirap sa bata, pwede nating baguhin para mas maintindihan ng mga students. The next is the critical use. So as a teacher, we should evaluate the content critically. So para alam natin kung tama ba and suitable ba ito para sa ating students, dahil hindi natin kailangan kung ano yung nasa course books is iyon lang yung ating ituturo or doon lang tayo magfo-focus. The next is the integration. Blend coursebook content with real-life communication and authentic materials. So, ibig sabihin, pwede tayong magbigay dyan ng more on exploration, like pwede tayong magpa-roleplay, and pwede tayong magbigay ng mga authentic materials na related sa ating lesson. Yan nga yung example ng, halimbawa, yung subject is math. So, pwede tayong magbigay ng mga fake money or other manipulatives na makakatulong sa bata. And the last principle is the flexibility. As a teacher, we need to be flexible dahil ang teacher daw is malayang mag-skip, reorder, or i-adjust ang lesson dahil nga mas kailangan nating isipin ang interest or needs ng ating students. Let's say for example, kapag nahihirapan ang students sa isang lesson, kailangan nating i-adjust, kailangan nating padaliin.
Good morning, class. So based from the given picture, what do you think will be our next topic? That is correct. That is CALL. So when we say CALL, it stands for Computer Assisted Language Learning. So when we say Computer Assisted Language Learning, it is in a field of language education that we uses computers, digital technologies to support our teaching and learning of a new language. So in short, it helps the learners to improve their language skills, like they will know what to do or when to use those words that they already learned on their communication, interaction in everyday lives, and also those languages that they learn, they already know what it means. So this computer-assisted language word learning, from the word computer, it is not always on the computer. It can be mobile, iPads, tablets, PC, and other digital learning language material. So is this CALL applicable for all age? So when we are talking about CALL, we are intent to explore different multimedia, multiple sources through the internet, website, and we all know that it can be harmful to anyone. So as a teacher, we are as long as we are teaching student a proper and practice a cyber citizenship where they know what to click and what to do when something suspicious pops up, then it should be validated and should be accepted with a proper guidance. So this CALL can be applicable to all as long as it should have a proper guidance. CALL includes things like, number one is the language learning app. So when we say language learning app, these are the mobile or web application that supports or help users to acquire or to learn new languages. So one of the example of language learning app is the Bilingual app. So sa Bilingual app or Bilingual app, it is a language learning app na kung saan nakafocus siya sa reading and listening. So dito sa reading, meron tayong ginagawang same stories or need na basahin ng bata na stories, but nadi-divide siya into two language na kung saan sa right side is nandun yung ating native language, while sa left side is nandun yung language na gusto mong matutunan. So next example of language learning app is the Mondly. So sa Mondly naman nakafocus ang vocabulary, grammar, and conversation. And next one is the Duolingo. So when we say Duolingo, ito yung types of language learning apps na it focus on all purpose. Nandito na yung vocabulary, grammar, conversation, reading, writing, listening, and speaking. So dito sa Duolingo is nakafocus siya sa more on fun and engaging type of lesson or language learning app na kung saan learners are casually learning but having fun. So next naman is the Buso. So sa Buso is a grammar-based language learning app na kung saan nakafocus siya sa pinapractice niya ang mga learners to a reading and writing exercises. Next naman is the memorize. So sa memorize naman is nakafocus siya sa vocabulary and a real life communication or phrases, na kung saan dito is meron ditong pinapakita ng mga videos or mga flashcards na kung saan nag-help sa learners to remember words or phrases. Call includes things like the online grammar and vocabulary. So dito, makikita natin dito yung mga apps like mga Killbot or mga dictionaries na kung saan yung mga gusto mong mga learn na mga language, you can look it up in these apps, Killbot and dictionaries, so that you can know or to understand it more o yung meaning na gustong ipahiwatig ng language na gusto mong matutunan. One is virtual reality or AR tools. Dito naman is nakafocus ito sa real-time conversation na kung saan mapapractice yung conversation mo and paano mo i-pronounce or yung mga vocabulary or grammar, yung mga gusto mong mga pinag-aaralan mong mga new language para ma-practice mo ito at masanay mo ito in real-time conversation with AIs and na kung saan meron siyang real-time feedback, right or wrong. Let's proceed to the background in teaching call. So number one, or pinakang first stage ng call is the early beginnings, 1960 to 1970s, na kung saan it is also called the behaviorist call. So why is this called behaviorist call? Because it was based on the behaviorist learning theory, na kung saan ang learnings of language is nangyayari lang daw through a repetition and drills. So dito, nakafocus ito sa mga fill-in-the-blanks na quizzes na kung saan nakafocus siya sa pag-answer laang ng right na vocabulary or language na gusto mong matutunan. So dito, ang computer is nagsaserve as a flashcards na kung saan ang mga students is more on nakafocus sila sa repetition of words or phrases, and in simple, ang behaviorist call is more on memorization of the languages. Second background in teaching call is the communicative call, na kung saan it happens in 1980s. Na kung saan in communicative call, from the word communicative, mas nai-emphasize na dito ang communication or paggamit ng isang language sa isang communication. So dito in 1980s, language teachers started to believe that mas important or mas effective ang paggamit ng communication kaysa sa mga drills or mga repetitions. So dito, communicative call is computers is nag-help sa mga learners to use language in a communication, not just in drills. So, mga activities in communicative call is mga puzzles and mga role-play situation na kung saan it encourage the student to interact and explore mga communication rather dun sa mga memorization of languages. Pangatlo, sa background in teaching call, nandito na yung tinatawag nating integrative call, 1990s to present. So, as technology improved, especially nagkaroon na ng internet, call became more integrated in real-world language use. So, dito, sa stage na to, nag-use na ng mga multimedia like video, audio, and text, and mga online communication tools like chat, email, and forums na kung saan mag-i-able sa student or users to acquire or to learn new languages. Nandito na rin sa stage na to na kung saan ang student can now read articles, watch videos, and do web-based project and communicate with other people na kung saan with different languages online. So dito, call is no longer just an extra tool, it is a part of the full learning processes. Last is the recent development or the 20s. So dito is nag-use na tayo ng mga smartphones, apps, and artificial intelligence, AR, na kung saan ang call has been become more even advanced and accessible. So nagkaroon na rin tayo dito ng mga language learning apps like yung mga Duolingo, Memrise, Mondly, and mga Buso, na kung saan it makes the learning more fun and personalized. So dito, nag-features na tayo now include speech recognition, gamification, na tayo nag-earning ng mga points and rewards, and nandito na rin yung mga chatbots that simulate real conversation, na kung saan ang student in this stage is now can learn anywhere, anytime using devices. New technologies like virtual reality VR and artificial or augmented reality or AR has now also been part or being used to create an immersive language experiences. Now, let's proceed to the benefits of CALL. So, number one is the interactive learning. So, pag sinabi natin interactive learning, nandito na is yung pag-learn natin ng language is more on fun and engaging because now we are using games and quizzes and other multimedia that supports our learning in a fun way. So, next naman is the self-paced practice. So dito naman is mga users or mga learners can study anywhere, anytime, at their own pace. Meaning, ang mga student have their own or kontrolado nila kung kailan sila mag-learn ng language learning because nga meron na tayong tinatawag dito mga mobile apps or mga application na kung saan they can use them anytime, anywhere. So, next naman is the immediate feedback. So, pangatlo naman sa benefits is the immediate feedback. So, dito is may mga sites or mga multimedia kasi na mga used for language learning app na kung saan nagko-correct agad na mga mistakes ng learners na kung saan para may improve agad nila ang kanilang pagkakamali or yung improve faster yung kanilang acquire or pag-learn ng mga new languages. So, the pang-apat naman is the access to authentic material. So, example na dito is yung pagpapanood na laang ng users or mga learners sa isang YouTube na kung saan they can listen to different people that have different perspective o mga language nila. Ari silang manood ng mga videos about doon, mag-read ng mga articles about sa gusto nilang language na pag-aralan. So, ang panglima namang benefits ng CALL is support all skills. So, meaning dito ang CALLs is a tools na kung saan nag-help sa atin na ma-improve ang ating listening, speaking, and writing. So, meaning, ang CALL kasi is may mga different multimedia and apps na kung saan nahahasa dito yung ating mga different skills. So, the pang-anim naman na benefits is the motivates learners. So, dito motivates learners because nga CALL uses technology or mga computers na kung saan hine-help ang student to keep interested and motivated, na kung saan dito is nag-use tayo ng mga gamifications, mga videos, mga engaging materials na kung saan mag-help sa student to learn better and learn that language in a fun way. So next is track progress. Dito naman is ang CALL kasi may mga software na kung saan minomonitor yung mga learners and show their improvement over time, na kung saan dito pinapakita kung ano pa ba ang kailangan ng student i-improve sa pag-acquire nila ng language, ng pag-learn nila ng new language, or ano pa ba yung dapat nilang i-improve, and at the same time, ano pa ba yung mga naginang maayos na pag-learn nila. So next is encourage independent learning. So last na ito dahil na kung saan ang student is can explore and learn on their own outside the classroom, because nga nandito na is yung student nga is meron na silang hawak na nila yung oras nila, na kung saan they have like mga gadgets na kung saan they can learn at the same time they can learn in a place that kung saan sila comfortable, kung kailan sila komportable or kung kailan nila gusto. So, that's all.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, classmate. Ngayon, pag-usapan naman natin ang Principle of Teaching CALL. Ano nga ulit ang CALL? Stand for Computer Assistant Language Learning. Ibig sabihin, gumagamit tayo ng technology tulad ng computer, apps at internet para matuto ng language or mga language. Pero usually, English. Pero hindi porket may tech, effective na agad. Kailangan tama rin paraan ng paggamit nito. Kaya may mga tinatawag tayong principle. We have 8 principles for teaching CALL. First is pedagogical integration. Ibig sabihin, dapat ang paggamit ng tech ay align o tugma sa lesson or learning goal. Hindi lang basta gumagamit dahil gusto mo. Technology should support language learning goals, not replace traditional teaching. The purpose is ensure tech used in purposeful and aligned with curriculum outcomes. Example is using a quiz app like Kahoot to review what the student already learned. Second is learner-centered approach. Focus on the needs, preference, and learning style of student. Dito, iniisip natin kung anong kailangan at gusto ng mga estudyante. Iba-iba kasi ang learning style ng mga estudyante at may mahilig sa video, mas effective sa games or reading. Ang purpose nito is encourage active participant and personalized learning experience. Example is Duolingo. Apps na Duolingo, pwede kang pumili kung gusto mong mag-practice ng speaking, writing, or listening. So, kung mas mabilis ka matuto sa visual, may future ito para sa iyo. Third is authentic language use. Engage student with real-life language and communication. Gumamit tayo ng mga real-world materials para masanay sa totoong English or iba pang language. Purpose is build practical language skill using genuine material and interaction. Example, watching TED Talks, interview sa YouTube, or magbasa ng mga actual news. Mas madaling ma-absorb ng mga language kasi actual usage instead of textbook or dialogue lang. Dumako naman tayo sa pang-apat na principle, interactivity and feedback. Offer interactive activities and offer instant feedback. Dito, dapat habang nag-aaral ang estudyante, dapat na-engage din sila at may real-time na feedback para mas matuto sila sa mga kamalian nila. Example is using Grammarly. Makikita mo agad dito kung tama ang sagot ng isang bata. Minsan may mga paliwanag pa dito kung bakit nagkamali sila sa ganon. Mas matuto tayo kasi real-time yung correction. The purpose is reinforce learning and support self-correction and improvement. Fifth principle is collaborative learning. Promote peer communication and teamwork. Hindi lang mga individual activity ang pwede natin ibigay sa ating mga estudyante. Pwede din tayo na gumamit ng mga technology para makapagawa sila as a group. Example is sa Google Docs. Pwede magsulat ng group story ang buong klase. Pwede rin tayong gumamit ng Zoom para sa ating discussion. Ang purpose nito is enhance language practice through social interaction and cooperation. Number 6 is cultural awareness. Expose learners to diverse culture through content. Hindi lang language ang natututunan ng mga estudyante, pati kultura o paniniwala ng ibang bansa. Example ng apps is using Hello Talks. Dito, pwede tayo makapag-usap sa ibang bansa o ibang lahi. The purpose is foster intercultural competence and global understanding. 7 is accessibility and inclusivity. Make sure all students, include those with disability, can use the tools. Dito, dapat lahat ng estudyante kahit may disability ay pwedeng gumamit ng mga technology or tinatawag na call tools. The purpose is provide equal learning opportunity for everyone. Example is pumili tayo ng mga apps na may subtitle, large font, o voice support para mas visions ang problems. May vision sa mga problems. Lahat dapat may equal chance na matuto. Dapat lahat nakikater kahit na may disabilities. The last principle is teacher training and support. Teachers need skill and guidance to use call effectively. Dito, as a future teacher, dapat marunong tayong gumamit ng mga technology. Dapat updated tayo sa mga paano gamitin ito. The purpose is both confidence and competence in using technology for teaching. Example is Coursera. Dito, pwede tayo matuto kung paano gumamit ng technology. Pwede din tayo dito makatuto kung paano gamitin ang technology sa ating pagtuturo, pagbibigay ng activity, at pagdidiscussion. So, ayan po ang ating 8 principle for teaching call. Ano na nga ulit ang ating 8 principles? First is pedagogical integration, learner-centered approach, authentic language use, interactivity and feedback, collaborative learning, cultural awareness and accessibility and inclusivity, and teacher training and support. Lahat ng ito ay importante para mas maging effective, inclusive at fun ang pagtuturo gamit ang technology.